Hello friends, and welcome back to another update of our PolarParrotFish fry. So today is day 25, and we have seen that yesterday on day 24 fry were showing personalities. Some were very confident, being independent, taking the leadership role, while there were others that were shy, that were just content with following others. We also saw mini shoals being formed, small groups being formed, and these leaders taking the initiatives of these small groups. And therefore, during feeding, there was also competition. Who will get to the food first, or who will grab the best bite first? Similarly, also you had this difference between the bold on one hand and the cautious on the other. Now, today's theme is quite interesting because today we are trying to find out. Now, we have already seen these type of personalities. Is it beneficial? So, is it the case that the leader type fry will grow faster than the followers, or is it just a myth? So, we'll try to find this out and see if there are enough reasons to support this fact that leaders do grow faster than the followers. So it's just like in the classrooms or in the families. You see that some kids are outspoken leaders while others are quiet observers. But who grows stronger in the long run? So we'll try to find that out today. So first and foremost, when you look at the fry themselves, they are clearly larger than what they were a few days back, which means that they are growing. That means they are kind of relishing the nutrients that are being provided to them. As you know, now everything is external feeding, so they have to depend on everything on their environment itself. Now, growth differences are also striking. Now, if you look at the fry, all of them are not of the same size. Some are small, some are almost double the size of the smaller ones, and therefore you may realize they've been born almost at the same time. They've hatched together, they have spent all their time in the same aquarium, the same water conditions. So, what has in a way made them to grow faster? Secondly, you see that fins are longer, the movement is more coordinated, more confident, and also you can just see a few hint of colors emerging. Some fry seem dominant. Okay, they are leading the small groups, while others prefer to just join the pack, just tail along. It's like walking into a schoolyard. You'll immediately notice the tall, confident kids, but you'll also notice the quieter ones who hang back. Now, let's analyze the feeding behavior. Now, feeding is where the difference is the sharpest. So, you'll see that the leaders will dart to grab the food first. They grab aggressively, and they also sometimes chase others. They'll make sure that the food is only for them. Much like how also like children would initially act like, everything is mine, this is mine, I don't want to give it to others. So similar kind of a mindset even for them. So they want everything for themselves. They'll drive any others who come away, who come near the food. Then you have the followers, or those who are the shy type. They will wait, they will pick up the leftovers, and they'll stay far away from these dominant fry. Why? Because they don't want to enter into any conflict, and they don't want to unnecessarily create any problem for themselves. Now, the immediate thought would be, well, yes, leaders obviously get more food, hence they would grow faster. But if you raise the counterpoint, you would also realize that waiting also conserves energy, and therefore followers may grow steadily in the long run. So it's all about the process of nature itself. So think of the buffet tables. Some people rush first, others wait. Sometimes those who wait get the best pick after the crowd clears. So sometimes it's just down to luck, sometimes it's also down to, you know whether you get the best part first or you get the best part later on. Now let's speak about the science of growth. How does growth take place? So many of you ask, like, why bold fry seem to grow faster, or is it a myth? Well, if you look at it scientifically, you see that bold fry, as they are the ones who dart towards the food, obviously the food intake is more, they have stronger muscles from constant chasing. So even though they are kind of grabbing a lot of food, they are also burning that food, and they are also developing stronger muscles, which makes them faster, it makes them stronger, and as a result of it, they are confident enough to take more risks. Since they have enough confidence in themselves, they are confident enough to take more risks, and this gives them more opportunities. Now in the tank, the situation somehow is quite equal, where in the wild, if you take more risks, you're bound to get more opportunities, and that is where these bold ones really prosper. Now, being cautious also has its own advantages. For example, it can lower stress, there'll be fewer injuries, it's also energy efficient, and in risky conditions, it's also the case of being able to survive. Both strategies have evolutionary values, and there's no single winner to that you can directly point out that this is the best approach, this isn't. Now it's also important to highlight the rivalries and the early hierarchies that are developing. So in terms of rivalries, you can notice the fry kind of bumping, chasing, or even defending the feeding spots. Whereas hierarchies also are forming. Some constantly dominate the mini groups. These are the leaders who will always be in the forefront. Similarly, we also see that this is quite natural in cichlids. They practice social roles quite early on in life, and therefore not all leaders stay leaders forever. Some fry may catch up later when circumstances change. And in school, well, you realize that the loudest child isn't always the most successful adult. Sometimes the quiet observers also surprise everyone later. So we've spoken so much about the fry, we have spoken so much about their bold, uh, courageous attitude. What about the parents? Well, the parents are like distant supervisors now. They no longer intervene in small rivalries, but we see that they are letting the fry sort it out for themselves, and they only step in when the fry stray too far or when there are disturbances in the tank. So their presence is still reassuring, as the fry often check back visually before taking any major risk. So not much in the aquarium setup, but in the wild, obviously they would kind of, cross consult before going out, and if the parents are there around to save them if there is a need. So therefore, let's come back to this main question with which we started today: do leaders grow faster? And the answer to that is yes. In the short term, they do grow faster, simply because that food is available to them. They grow in confidence, they are able to take more opportunities. More risks equals to more opportunities, and more opportunities means more ways to grow. So growth is ensured through these opportunities. But the followers also grow too. They are at their own pace with less risk. So both roles are important for balance in the group. So growth is not all about speed. Sometimes steady, quiet growth also lasts longer than a fast, risky sprint. So therefore, whether bold or cautious, every fry and every person has a place and a path. So today what we have seen is that size differences are very much visible. In the same group you have some who are double the size of the smaller ones. The leaders we have seen grab food first and seem to grow faster. Followers conserve energy and may grow steadily later. And parents are stepping back even more, letting the fry test the independence. So, what do you think? Do you think that the bold fry will always stay ahead, or will followers eventually catch up? And in your life, do you see yourself more as a bold explorer or as a cautious observer? Do let us know in the comments. Now, tomorrow we'll explore how early colors begin to deepen and whether they tell us anything about future dominance or beauty. So, thank you for joining me on day 25. And we have seen that day 25 shows that growth comes in many forms. Leaders and followers alike are part of this incredible journey. So, therefore, see you for day 26. Until then, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And happy fish keeping.